What? What is your name? Tony. Fuck you, Tony. What's your name? Ezekiel. Fuck you, Ezekiel. Fuck you.
Had to switch up on the flow, gotta keep them on their toes. I move quick, I make the most, while they copy what I wrote. Follow everything I post, never trip about a clone, cause they know what's a sheep to a goat. Yeah. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise they ain't make it then. In their heads, living free, I ain't paying rent. Wake up in the AM, making G's like Mercedes-Benz. Whoa, hey, please don't take offense. It isn't you, I'm just not interested in making friends. My biggest fear is finding out that this came and went. So go ahead, but I'm staying in.
I've been waiting for this. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this. What's up?
Motherfucker, I hate this motherfucker.
No, Sam, that's not how we do it. Let me show you how we take care of the creature. Let me show you how we take care of the creature. Go, Rita!
No, I'm in mid-view. Hold on. Let me finish my point, you jerk.
You don't call your dad a jerk.
Well, you're being a jerk.
The laws of physics do not exist on my charcoal grill.
But what's the weirdest thing you've ever killed and ate?
Siamese twins.
Siamese. What did you say? Siamese twins.
But my agent said I may need to get a lawyer after that comment.
Oh God, I just got what you were saying. That's not what I meant. Oh man, that is just off the wall bad. We just had one of our guests on, Jason Fry, talking about the Celtics are going to win their 19th championship. So what have you got to say about that?
Who this Jason Fry character is, he was talking about doing hard shit. Well, his prediction is bullshit. Okay. All right.
I have a feel we're about to be joined by Sir George. He normally comes out of the black hole. Oh, there he is. Sir George. He is back.
Play football. What's up?
Well, I just want to say, are...
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. I just saw Jerry. Hey, Jerry. You said, well, this ain't your number one. You're number one, Jerry. Number one.
Oh, my God. We're moving on. We've killed the Cowboys. Matter of fact, get out. I'm tired of talking to you. Give me freaking JJ. Bring JJ on the show. Holy crap. Let's hear his opinion about this damn trade and why they made this decision. I think you're trying to cover your own ass right now and just not admit you were wrong.
In the country.
I think you're just trying to cover your ass right now. And don't.
You know what? I got a big ass, so
that's a lot of
cover. A lot of cover. It take a blanket, damn it.
More like a drape.
Did you just pull a drape? Is that so I can open it up when I need to go?
Hey, you're getting too deep into this. Rivalries make sports great, but they got to be on the same level. And I'm sorry, Angel Reese ain't on the level of Caitlin Clark. Like, it's not Magic Bird.
If you don't want to commit to it, take your ass and be a PE all-star.
First off, you need to get your facts effing straight.
How do you like me now? What? You're the coach. Shut up, dude. All you haters, shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. Whoa. I won 5 Super Bowls, damn it. How dare you call the Cowboys a shit team? Watch the Cowboys. It'll be fun, they said. Bloody fucking hell, it was no fun.
It was like riding a train around one of the Kardashians' asses, and you just disappear into this abyss of ass. Somehow he talked about buttholes that made me hungry for a PBJ sandwich. It's 35-7. And it's only 7 because you just scored. Shut up.
And they're playing with sticks. And they're playing with a little puck all the time.
Expert analysis right there. They play with sticks and pucks.
Trying to grow the game, man. global game.
These people, they don't give a damn.
Well, I don't really know, but it drives me nuts. You're almost going to laugh. I can see it. Almost fixing to lose it. It drives me nuts.
Oh, man.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Yes, folks. Welcome back. It is On Time Sports Talk, the self-proclaimed greatest in the podcast game. I am Casey, the remix schedule, keyword self-proclaimed there. And the bald and the beautiful below me is the old man. Introduce yourself this week.
That's the original, not the old man. In other words, just like fine wine. You know, you can try to make an imitation and you end up like Boone's Farm Tickle Pink. That's what you end up with. So, you know, I'm more like a French fine wine.
What are you talking about?
See, you don't even know what I'm talking about. So there you go.
No, you're right now. You're a dumpster fire like your emoji over there.
Yeah, why do I got a dumpster fire on my emoji? Who's in charge of this emoji thing?
All right. Anyways, we got a lot to get to. We have Cowboys week 1. What did we see? Week 2. What do we want to see? We got NFL roundabout. Those are always fun when you're driving around. And the old man knows what's coming. I already know after that Monday night game. So, oh man, I just lost my train of thought. This is terrible as the lead host on the show right now. What in the? I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Just lost it, man.
Oh, we got college football, of course. College football, we got picks with pops in our standings. One of us did phenomenal. One of us did not. And, of course, we got we're going to change up making the most of our moment this week. There was obviously a tragedy today. We're going to address that during that time. And then we have our whiskey of the week and our random tidbits. I have a feeling maybe WNBA in that bit, maybe a little Major League Baseball, and then we have our goodbyes. But something I'm super excited about is I went on their podcast a few weeks ago, had a blast. Our man, Dallas Cowboy Chris from the Cowboy Up podcast is joining us. Let's go ahead and add him to the stage real quick. There he is, front and center.
Hello.
Welcome, Chris. How are you doing this evening?
What's up, brothers? How y'all doing, man? Good to be here. Good to be here.
Good to have you. So your first name really is Cowboy? Cowboy Chris?
First name is Chris. The Dallas Cowboys was added.
He is so Dallas Cowboy. You have to call him by all 3 names. Like, you have to address him as Dallas Cowboy Chris.
Well, then I expect you to address me as Eddie, the original schedule.
No, because I invented this show and I refuse to say that entire thing. So,
no. Who's your daddy? That's all I got to say. Who's your daddy?
Really, you're gonna embarrass yourself like that in front of our guests. But
so I think we need a joke to start this off. See if I can make Mr. Cowboy Chris.
You just don't let it marinate. Like, I'm getting to it and you cut me off every time. Would you let me lead the show? You're embarrassing.
You're just so slow.
No, it's not. You just won't let it just resonate. You got to let it stew a little bit. If you eat the stew too quick, it doesn't taste right. All right. So, yes, we are getting to your horrible attempt at comedy. Dallas Cowboy Chris, the old man over there, he tries to make me laugh and the people laugh every single week, and he hasn't done it once. So he did get our last guest to laugh. So he's going to attempt to get us. I encourage you not to encourage this behavior by laughing, but here you go. The stage is yours, old man.
Oh, well, since you're old, I'm going to go with some dinosaurs. It's a riddle this time. I like using the riddles. Why can't dinosaurs clap their hands?
why can't dinosaurs clap their hands? Because they're dead, I guess. I don't know. Why can't they?
Because they're extinct. There you go. See, he even knew the answer.
Yeah, because
Wow.
I'm about as old as a dinosaur, so yeah.
Well, I know the feeling, my friend. I know the feeling. So this young whippersnapper over there, he didn't even know what I was talking about. I'm talking about Boone's Farm.
I know what Boone's Farm wine is. All right, just the way you worded it was weird. Okay. Oh man.
Yeah, worded it was weird. Okay. So there.
All right. Well, let's get to it. We had a Eagles Cowboys opening night last Thursday to the NFL season, week 1. I think I know the way I feel. I thought the Cowboys did better than expected. I know the old man feels that way a little bit as well from his text messages. Dallas Cowboys Chris, our resident expert on America's team on this show. What did you think of the performance last Thursday?
I was hopeful before the season that we would be improved on the field, especially the offensive and defensive lines, and both happened on Thursday. I was excited that number 4 wasn't actually running for it. That's what I called Dak Prescott. I'm sorry. Number 4 running for his life all night. That didn't happen. Saquon didn't bust loose on us. That didn't happen. The only thing that was, of course, discouraging was them getting off the field in the first half by letting Jalen escape his escape routes. They that's one thing they didn't cover in their offseason planning. And honestly, that's what won the game for the Eagles. If we contain Jalen Hurts, of course, force him to throw the ball, and we shut down receivers, the Cowboys win the game easily. Forced turnovers and problems that the Cowboys had also cost them the game. Drops with CD. As you know, every once in a while, CD has those games. We just hate to see it in week 1. But, especially against the world champions, of course, you want to go in there and actually kick their butts, and come back to Dallas with the victory. But unfortunately, we didn't because there were 4-quarter crucial drops, so it hurt. But I think the Cowboys, if there is a bright side to the loss, you can see the improvements in the coaching staff and the players on the field last Thursday.
Yeah, I'm going to back up what he was just saying as far as the offense goes. I was very pleased with seeing the fact that they attacked downfield. I think that's been a big criticism of the Cowboys over the last few years, and McCarthy and all that was that he was too conservative and didn't let Dak go down the field, which, if you go back to when Dak first came in as a rookie, he moved the ball down the field, and to me, he's a very accurate passer. So, and especially when you let him move around. But yeah, so Casey, you're going to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, you kind of talked about the coaching staff. So this was Shoddy's head coaching debut, right? So with both of you guys, and we'll start with you, Chris. I'm sorry, Dallas Cowboy Chris. I said I got to say the whole name. I better follow my own rules around here.
All right.
Is Shoddy's coaching debut. So would you give the game 1 a stamp of approval, especially based on what we saw in the past with game management with McCarthy and Garrett for all those years?
I give him a C+ on his game management. You can't deny the first 3 possessions that the Cowboys had. They wouldn't score. They were prepared for the game. Did you notice the Cowboys? What they only have maybe 1 penalty? Did they have more than 2? I don't think they had more than 2 penalties the whole game.
Pretty clean.
McCarthy era, we were living in penalties, 10 to 12 penalties a game. And, it absolutely killed us in a lot of drives too, especially in our offense backing us up. No holding calls, no illegal motions and anything like that. I was really pleased with the way the team was prepared on the field. So to answer your question, with Shotty, I was very happy with his performance for his first game as a head coach. I was very pleased.
Pops.
Well, yeah. What I was hoping, and I think I got to see, was that he's been in the game a long time, and obviously, they talked a lot about his legacy of his dad. Um, so, and he talked about how they're going to move the ball. This goes back to when he was at Seattle. They had a lot of motion. They moved the ball down the field. And, I'm not going to say Russell Wilson is Dak Prescott or Dak Prescott is Russell Wilson, but I'm going to say there are some similarities to a certain extent. I think Dak is probably a more accurate passer to me, at least with the Russell Wilson that we're seeing nowadays. Maybe when Russell Wilson was in his prime is a little bit different on his accuracy. But I was very pleased with the running game. I thought Williams came in and showed now that when they get within the 5-yard line, because this is a big thing that they've had problems with, is being able to score inside the 5. And they were able to push the ball in. I was happy with that. And this may have to do with the young linebackers on the defensive side of the ball. I think to your point about Jalen getting loose, they're going to have to tighten that up, because Hurts is not the only quarterback that's going to do that to them. You've got guys like Daniels in the NFC East. He's going to do the same thing. So they got to figure that out. And I think that's probably because their linebackers are fairly young. And they're going to have to learn how to contain that outside, especially now that you don't have Micah there.
Yeah, so going back to the original question on Shotty's debut, my take on Shotty's debut was, maybe it's through that lens of these last couple coaches we've had, but I thought I would have given him an A, like an A minus, but that's probably because we've been eating shit sandwiches for so long when it comes to game management and debut. But you're right, they look prepared. They stopped the run, and what a strange game, all the way from the very start with the Jalen Carter thing, which we can talk more about that here in a minute. Him not getting suspended another game or suspended a game, the league seeing that game as a suspension. But you had the delay, all the scoring in the first half, and then both teams go dormant in the second half, other than I think a field goal. What y'all think of the game overall in its entirety? I think some glaring holding penalties on the Eagles weren't called. I'll say that. I think that contributed to their success as well, by the way.
I agree with you, because, watching the game, I screamed out a couple times, especially on the our rookie. He was rushing, and we saw Jalen escape to his side, and I'm like, man, if you can't see that holding, you're blind. I'm like, that is so obvious. It was one on Sam Williams, that another escape route that Jalen had, they didn't call. But when it comes to penalties, especially holding calls, a lot of times if you're the home team, you're going to get favored. Okay, if you're the road team, you're not going to get most of those calls, and especially you're the world champions and you're at home, and it was, some of them were blatant, but you really can't cry about it. I mean, because the Cowboys was in the game the whole time, okay, and everybody thought that the Cowboys were going to get blown out the water, and I picked them to win. Of course, I'm a Cowboy fan, so I picked them to win. And the reason I picked them to win is because of Dak and Dak's record against Philly, and the Dak record against Philly in Philly. I just thought that it was going to be a victory for the Cowboys. But the overall game, to answer your question, I mean, from beginning to end, I actually enjoyed even the second half, where it was really no scoring. It showed that our coaches actually went in after the delay and made adjustments. You know, it's very rare when McCarthy was here, we ever made any kind of adjustments that you can actually see on the field. You notice in the first half, they wasn't bringing any pressure. God forbid, number 11's in Green Bay. That still irritates me. But when he decided to bring pressure, the game changed for the Cowboys, and the defense really started performing.
Yeah, I would say it was one of those weird games, and you make a great point on the adjustments. Pops, what'd you think of the adjustments he was talking about?
No, I totally agree. That's been one of the problems is they last year and with McCarthy here, they would go to halftime and come back out and look exactly the same. And you're like, what the hell? You know, why you've had some time, make some changes because that's going back to the coach. I mean, even Jason Garrett was better at making some adjustments. But so yes, I was very pleased with that, and really that's how it should be. You get out there. It's the first game of the season. The offenses have an advantage over the defenses just because they can move the ball. They know where they're going to be, and defenses are making those adjustments. But then the second half, I was very pleased with. To your point, is that they went in, and that's the way it should be. Is that now the defense should start showing that they've made changes and start stopping some of the stuff that was hitting them. I was very pleased with the up the middle. I think bringing in, even though we don't necessarily like the trade of Micah going to Green Bay, I think too the point of helping stop the run, he was doing a good job at nose guard, and we didn't get gouged up the middle like we're used to seeing. They broke a few open, but a lot of that was Jalen Hurts, and that's just going to be because you got to contain him.
Yep. So I think the best news the Cowboys got this week already is Russell Wilson will be starting for the New York Football Giants. I think that is perfect for the Dallas Cowboy kingdom.
Did you guys see who they brought in to look at today? Did you see who they brought in to look at today?
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a minute.
Okay.
I'm not too. I think that's inconsequential but so Russell Wilson is going to be starting for the Giants. Giants looked absolutely like my dad's emoji below me, a dumpster fire. That's literally what they look like still. What are y'all expecting to see from our Dallas Cowboys on this beautiful upcoming weekend?
Well, this is simple for me. Cowboys have beaten them 14 times in a row the last 7 years. I expect to be 15. I mean, the Giants, you know how the people will say that the Cowboy dislikers, I don't call them, or the other fans, they're not even haters, they're other fans because they know more about the Cowboys than we do. Even the other fans can't even say that the Giants haven't improved any. I mean, you go and you get Russell Wilson, you drafted Scatterboo, a run hard guy. You say you improved your offensive line, and basically it looked like the same Giants offense. I bet they wish they had Daniel Jones back, but they don't. I told the fellas on the show last night, Russell Wilson looked like a punch drunk boxer. Remember when the boxers are over their prime and they still try to fight just because they can make a little money? That's how Russell Wilson plays to me right now. So the Cowboys don't take care of them easily. It's going to be a very, very good day for me. I'm going to be very upset.
For me, they better destroy them. I mean, that's what I want to see. I mean, we just played the defending world champions, lost by 4 points. Can be argued there were some missed calls in that game. Obviously, there was a delay, which changed the whole flow of the game to a certain extent. So I want the Cowboys to come in and destroy them. Now we got a couple couple things to think about. I mean, Bland is going to be out with a foot injury, it looks like, for a few weeks. So, but I thought they played well in the secondary on the defense against the Eagles, and the Eagles have really good receivers, which the Giants do not. So, why are you throwing that up there now?
I was just trying to add it to the little thing. I didn't know it was going to pop on the screen automatically. Like, my bad. That was not intentional.
But yeah, so I think they should beat them and beat them handily, as long as as long as they're up for it. This is what always scared me about with the McCarthy coach teams. For these big games, they didn't seem to get up as motivated as you should be. It seemed like it was always mediocre. So I'm hoping that with Shoddy in there, that changes and they come in and wanting to take down the Giants.
I'll tell you what I want to see in week 2, and this is really what I think every Cowboy secretly wants to see. We want to see more out of Pickens. Now, Pickens is saying all the right things. He's not worried about his numbers, but I want to see him have a little more impact, because I do think CD's on a redemption game tour as well. I think he wants to prove something after those 3 drops. I want to see some out of Pickens. I want to see Ferguson show up as well. All right. The old man, I know you love Fergie. I haven't been as high on Fergie as you have. I need Ferguson to show up. And then on the defensive side, I want to see some sacks. I do want to see some more quarterback pressures that end with positive plays for the defense, whether that be interceptions, whether that be sacks, whether that's throwaways, and not just letting – and we all know Russell Wilson is not the scrambler he is, and he's nowhere near in Jalen Hurts' realm. But I would like to see more of that, and I want to see the Cowboys force the Giants in week 3 to have to go to Jackson Dart, because I think if Jackson Dart's playing, they're a whole different team. I really do. So Cowboys, I agree with you, Dallas Cowboys, Chris, and the old man. I expect an ass whooping this weekend, and I don't think we should expect anything less.
It has to be, because you got to think about it. The Cowboys definitely can't start 0-2 with the schedule they have coming up. They can't. They have to keep pace with the teams that they need to beat. And then put forth a Philadelphia effort against everybody else. So that's why I'm expecting them to go in there and beat the brakes off the Giants. They have to.
All right. Well, Dallas Cowboy Chris, you are not our only guest tonight.
All right.
The old Sir George, our long lost cousin from England, is going to be on the show and join us, and you're going to get to meet Sir George here shortly.
I heard about Sir George. I heard about.
I'm sorry.
I heard about Sir George.
Yes, so we're going to get his initial thoughts on the Cowboys game as well. He didn't have a good first season as a fan last year, and I think we could both agree last year was pretty rough if you're just now starting becoming a Cowboys fan. You know what I mean?
Okay. Does he believe in the Cowboys being the world's team, or is he strictly America's team?
Well, you can ask him. That's why I wanted to bring him on. For I got to see him in England while he was on guard at Buckingham Palace, because he is part of the King's Guard.
Okay.
But we love Sir George. But is there any players from or while we're waiting on the old man mentioned they brought in Jadeveon Clowney. What'd you think about them bringing him in? Would you be opposed to them signing him?
No, but Casey is telling you exactly one thing. They trade away their only pass rusher. So, hey, let's go to the scrapyard and let's see if we can get another pass rusher out here. Once again, the Cowboys, wait to the last minute about their deficiencies. They trade away the best pass rusher in the league to get a defensive tackle. Okay, cool. Remember, it was Michael Parsons' fault, the reason why people was running on us. Okay. So then they go out and they say, well, let's get me a journeyman pass rusher who's probably been on 7 or 6 teams since he's been in the NFL. So we're basically telling our fans that our second round pick is not working for the last 2 years. You know, both were defensive end, Nealon and Izaraku. So they're not going to work out. So let me go get the old veteran who really isn't a pass rusher. I don't even think he's gotten 10 sacks in the season yet. So
ooh, yeah, I'd have to look up that statistic.
So that's my thing. You're basically saying, hey, we got rid of a pass rusher, so let's go to, I always say this on our show, let's go to Great Value and let's shop at Great Value, and hopefully it's going to taste as good as the real thing. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't, but it's screaming desperate. That's what it's screaming.
Yeah, desperation, or if it's for depth, I think it would be an issue if he's coming in here to be a starter over Williams or Nealon, which I don't think would be where he would be at. Because I'll tell you one thing, that one person that I was critical during the game, and then after I make this point, we'll bring Sir George in because I see he's ready. I thought Dante Fowler looked pretty stiff and pretty old. He blew, I remember explicitly, 2 contains on the backside on runs, especially in the first half. So, maybe depth, maybe in that Dante Fowler role, I could see that being positive. But let's bring him in. Sir George, welcome back, my man. It's been a while.
Well, yes, it's been a long time. I want to show you. I got me a little Cowboys truck here. I found one over here in jolly old England. So I'm hoping that this brings a good luck charm, because that stupid ass team you had me follow last year, telling me to watch the Cowboys, it would be so bloody fun, was a lot of times in Britain we'll say brilliant. Well, that wasn't brilliant, Mr. Remix. You made me watch this team. And let's see, Mr. Cowboy Chris, you got a lot of hats. I only get to wear this one hat. I'm wondering maybe I should put a star on there, but they won't let me do that because the Queen then will think I'm a general, and then I'll have to make decisions, which I don't want to. And actually, it's not the Queen. Oh my God, I must have had a senior moment. It's the King now, yeah. King Charles.
King Charles.
So, I forget things like he does too.
Sir George.
Yes.
It has been a while. Yes. I hope you've been doing all right. Last time I saw you, I was actually in London on my honeymoon. We didn't actually get to link up, even though you photobombed me on the London Bridge, I do believe. But did you catch Thursday's game? And I know Dallas Cowboy Chris has a burning question for you. So before you give us your impressions of Thursday's game, because I know you watch, Dallas Cowboy Chris, hit him with your question. I want to hear his response.
Well, first of all, did he just get off of work from guarding? I saw he still had the hat on and everything. Or do you sleep in the hat? I'm trying to figure out that, because I got a lot of hats too, but I don't sleep in them. I just wear them. I was just wondering.
Well, actually, my hat doubles as a pillow. I don't. It's actually very. What most people don't understand is that inside these hats include a full combat pack. There's actually, I can't pull it out because it's secret, but there's a full combat pack in here. I have a gun, I have a hammock, I have a canteen, I have a sword also, in case we end up in some type of, karate sword fight. Which tends to happen in a lot of James Bond movies. It actually happens in real life, but it does double. So do I sleep in it? Yes, but it's more I sleep on it. And it's because, and yes, I'm in the biking outfit because we have to keep up with King Charles, because what most people don't know is he rides a bike. Now, I will let out a little secret, if you can keep it, is his bike is electric. He doesn't actually pedal it, although he's a cheap ass and doesn't give us an electric. We have to pedal. So that's why I wear my my little biking suit, and
All
you
right.
know, he likes to go all over, go to some strip clubs, I mean pubs, and you know, do those sorts of things.
Careful there, Sir George. You almost lost your British accent there. Chris, what was your next question?
Weird.
I know you
the
had
more
one
I hang out
about
with
something.
you, it's sometimes
the team.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, I'm glad that you are into American football. You know, the real thing that you can actually hit somebody. You know, other than faking being shot. But
Whoa! Have you ever watched rugby?
Yes.
Rugby, they bloody hit each other. We don't wear those sissy pads that you bloody Americans wear. We ain't got a big old helmet on, blocking our beautiful face and wearing big old chains. You know why they don't wear chains in rugby? Because I grab that damn chain and pull you down and tackle you with it. Or the long hair that a lot of them have. We grab that hair and tackle them. So, well, easy now. We hit in rugby.
Well, you know, I know the American football came from rugby. That's where it started. Okay. So I know the history, but you know, rugby isn't your national sport. Your national sport is the thing they call soccer in America. So I'm just proud of you
That
for
would
being
be
real
football. Soccer. You came up with you bloody Americans came up with the soccer, which I don't know what that means. That's like you hit a woman, you soccer. No, it's football.
Very defensive.
It's football.
Okay.
But yes. And then there's cricket. I love cricket.
Okay.
You know,
we don't need
that's a game.
We don't care
that's
about
a game you can play for days and still not know what the hell's happening.
No cricket talk around here. All right. Well, Sir George, what was your impressions of Thursday night's game? I know you watched. Give it to us in a quick minute to 2 minutes, because I know you got to go find King Charles on his bike.
Well, what I will say is, bloody hell. Here we go again with Hurts. And that actually hurts me to say. It's hard. It hurts my mouth. Hurts was killing the Cowboys once again. And my thing is, tackle that guy. Tackle him. What's the deal? He sits back there, and then the bloody zebras sit back there and just ignore the fact that they're tackling Cowboys as they come across the line. That's obviously not holding in their mind. But you've got to contain the back quarter. Or is it quarterback? Is it back quarter or quarterback?
Quarterback.
Quarterback. Why is he called quarterback? Is it because he's a quarterback of the line, or what? Or is it just something you bloody made up? Yeah, okay. I mean, running back makes sense, right? Because he's back and he runs the football. But quarterback, he doesn't. He gives you a quarter. I don't understand. I guess the football is considered a quarter, but no. Back to your point of the Cowboys. I'm a little bit more positive this year that they might do something. But is Jerry Jones still the owner? Jerry Jones is still the owner, right? Then
yes.
that bloody sucks. So okay.
All right, Sir George. Well, we can't say thank you enough for coming on the show. I know it's pretty late there in England. You got to go. But you do have a Dallas Cowboy trinket there and a Dallas Cowboy background, the same one as the old man, ironically. But
you were supposed to change that.
Well, I can't change your background. You're right. I was supposed to throw this one on, but that's my
see.
But
all
right, Sir George.
Well, nice meeting you, Dallas Cowboy Chris.
In a week or two. All right. Nope. Yeah. All right. Chris, what's your impressions of good old Sir George?
Man, I love meeting a gentleman from the old country. It's his knowledge of football isn't quite there yet, but hey, he'll get there. He still has soccer on the brain. Still have soccer on the brain.
Yeah, that's definitely a fact. But yeah, it was a rough season. Did you said you mentioned you were positive or optimistic or negative going into the season before Monday or before last Thursday?
Well, I was very positive about the season. When you start the season, everybody has that positive attitude, and I did too. I was just hoping. At first I was not happy with the hiring of Shotty. I have my own personal reasons for that, but once he got there and just listening to his interviews and listening to his intensity about coaching, his coaching style, I actually fell in love with the guy. And I said, I'm gonna give this guy a chance. I'm gonna back him and everything like that. And so basically everything he said that he was gonna do, he's proven to me that he's actually taking advantage of his opportunity as a coach and trying to be a good leader of men. Because some of these guys make a lot of money and they don't want to follow or do what the coach says, but I think they got the respect of Shotty. So as long as he keep the room tight, he'll be fine. Because remember, that was the downfall of Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips lost the room, and it went downhill for him. And next thing you know, we got Jason Garrett. We got clapping for 8 years. So I just really hope that Shotty keeps the room, keep doing what he says, and let's get where we need to be.
All right. Well, we are going to move on to after this commercial break. We're going to go around the NFL. And Chris, you going to stick with us with that one?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
All right. Well, let's hear from our sponsor, easyleadership.com. And yeah.
Parents, help your student find their true path with the Berkman Career Assessment. Imagine if you had discovered your true passion right after high school. How much further along would you be in a fulfilling life? Now picture giving that gift to your student. The Berkman Career Assessment is designed to uncover the career paths that align with your student's unique personality, interests, and needs. Don't let them wander through years of uncertainty. Equip them with clarity and confidence to pursue a future where they thrive. Act now. Invest in their purpose with Berkman today at easyleadership.com or email us for a free career checkup.
All right.
Well,
easyleadership.com, the old man's company. Got anything to add there?
Yeah, just check us out. I mean, a big thing, we are working with a couple of different places on helping students from early high school to early college and choosing a career based on their personality instead of just guessing. And so check it out. Give us a call. It's free to talk. And, invest in your kid. If you're going to spend $60,000 to go to college, you might as well invest a couple $100 to find out what they're really good at and what they would really like. So easyleadership.com.
I'm at Strugglesville over here.
Are you having audio problems?
Somebody's got an echo and I don't know whose it is. So I can hear it, but that's why I went to the headphones, and also my tablet's about to die. But let's go around the league. The NFL roundabout last week. I want to start Chiefs Chargers. All right, Chargers pull that out. The old man did predict that game. What was y'all's impressions of that Chiefs Chargers game we saw in Brazil? I know that's my dad's favorite place for teams to play.
Oh, I guess I'll go. The Chiefs look like they were tired. They look like they played a lot of football and they were tired. I thought since it was a division game, I thought the Chiefs was going to take care of the Chargers, but they didn't. The overhyped quarterback in LA actually played a good game. I have to give it to Justin Herbert. He actually played a good game. They basically beat up on the Chiefs. I really loved the game. I thought the game was exciting, but I did pick the Chiefs in that game.
I'll go. I did pick the Chargers, I think, right? In our picks. Yes.
Yes, you
because
did.
Chargers are my other team. And I think to your point, I think the Chiefs, I've already picked them. They're going to have an off year. I think the lead of that division is going to be the Chargers and the Raiders, to much people's surprise. Because I do think the Chiefs are coming to the end of this run, and it kind of showed. But I also think that Harbaugh, once he gets a team under his belt for a couple of years, he starts to find his groove. And I think what you saw from the Chargers, I was really, really happy with. That they were able to move the ball, and now they've got a healthy quarterback this year. So I think they handled business, and I almost want to put them ahead of the Raiders in my pick, but I'm not there yet. But I still think it's going to be the Raiders and Chargers leading the AFC West this year, even though I know Denver. It's the toughest division in football to me right now, in that division. But I enjoyed the game, obviously.
Yeah, it was a good game, and kudos to you. That was one of the few you got right last week on that one. And it was an entertaining game. Was very happy to see Herbert perform, and I agree with you, Chris. They've played a ton of football in these over the last 5-6 years. They look tired. I don't know if they have the juice. You see Travis Kelce run into Xavier Worthy and take his own teammate out, and he even said, "I'm too old to be doing that. I know better than that." And that went, I don't know how long he's going to be out. Rice is out for, I believe, the first 6 games of the year for his suspension. So it's going to be interesting to see what they turn around, and if the Chiefs can still have a competitive season. I picked the Chiefs to win the division just solely because they're the Chiefs, and until someone knocks them off, I can't pick against them. I picked against them all last year. They kept winning these close games and these close games. I think it finally was probably going to catch up with them this year. Now, I called this one months and months ago, and the old man called me crazy. Daniel Jones in Indianapolis is going to be good. And he told me I was crazy. And Daniel Jones comes out.
They played the crappy
every possession of the game, scoring every possession of the game, stomped the Dolphins, which I think the Dolphins are a dumpster fire now. I think Mike McDaniel gets fired before the end of the year. But Daniel Jones, if you look at his athleticism, his arm talent, and he was in New York. Remember, Saquon leaves New York and has the best year of his career. I think Daniel Jones is going to have the best year of his career. What did you guys, and we'll start with you, Dallas Cowboy Chris, what did you think of the former Giants quarterback Daniel Jones in an Indianapolis Colts jersey?
I wasn't shocked that he played well. I was shocked about the score. I was shocked that the Dolphins didn't put up any kind of effort. That's what I was more shocked of. And I'm 100% agrees with you. I think their coach may be fired by the middle of the season. Daniel Jones always had one deficiency. He played for the Giants. He don't have that deficiency anymore.
Yeah. I'm going to say this was more about how bad the Dolphins were to me than how good Daniel Jones was. I think Daniel Jones, when you play a crappy team, you can make a lot of quarterbacks look like they're Hall of Famers. And the Dolphins were just, nothing was, it's like they didn't even practice. It was like people were in the wrong place. You got Tyreek Hill over on the sidelines, cussing people out, pissed off, and it's the first game of the season. So it's just the Dolphins are a true dumpster fire right now. So let's give it a little bit more time on Mr. Daniel Jones and see what he does. I always say you got to play 3 games in the season before you really know what you have. And now he's got a game against the Broncos, so he's going to have to play. So that's kind of my thoughts on that game.
This is Josh Allen all over again. You just don't want to give me credit that I called this. That's what it is. You dog Josh Allen.
If we couldn't even get through 2 games before you, Josh Allen.
Oh,
God.
I got a little video down there for you, okay? That we are all going to.
Because he barely won a game.
Listen, he beat your MVP pick twice the last 2 times they played.
Barely.
Anyway, before we get to that game, any other games stand out from the weekend for you guys? I was here locally in Houston. The Texans looked inept on offense. Stroud he struggled. Offensive line a mess. Running game non-existent. So they have not addressed their issues. So I was a little disappointed in the Texans, even though I did pick the Rams to win that game. Any other games on the slate other than Bills and Ravens, because that's what we're going to go to next and end on. Any other games stand out to you?
Well, the only other one that I actually enjoyed watching was the Steelers and Jets, the quarterback swap game. I think both quarterbacks played very well. Justin Fields actually completed passes. I thought
he looked like a quarterback.
He looked like a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers actually looked like a veteran quarterback that had control of the offense. Pittsburgh is at 3 yards in the cloud of dust team, but look like with Aaron now, they're going to actually put the ball in the air. But I really enjoyed that game. I thought that game was very good.
Yeah, for me, that game was surprising a little bit, but it was the Jets. So it's not a huge win to me for the Steelers because it's not a huge test. But the other game was the Monday night game, the Vikings and the Bears. I thought was very competitive. I really did not think the Vikings were going to pull this out. But I think their rookie quarterback showed some signs. He was terrible at first, but I think the game started to slow down a little bit for him. But yeah, going back to the Green Bay and Detroit, I think Detroit is going to have some serious issues this year just because I think it showed that they are missing those coaches now. It really showed. Their offense was very vanilla, and Goff is not. They're going to have to figure that out really quick. Even though I do think Green Bay is going to be pretty good this year, I do think that Detroit may struggle and not be near as good as they were because of these coaching changes. You can see it in just the way that their offense played. But the Texans, I was surprised the Texans they could not do anything.
Yeah,
which was
I think another team that last year dominated offensively that really struggled was the Bengals and barely beating the Browns by 1 point. That's almost embarrassing if you're Joe Burrow, personally.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah.
All right. Before we talk about the Bills and Ravens, I got a little, I think it's about 1 or 2 minute video here that I did not put together. This guy on TikTok put it together that I think sums up the entire game for all of us watching it. So here we go.
Let's go!
Oh, well.
And that's it.
Guess who?
William Knifeman.
Now it's my turn.
I'm so fucking scared right now. For the secondary. Get right to the end zone. God damn it!
My turn, assholes.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn!
Run, bitch!
Inside for the Buffalo touchdown. What the fuck? He is having an opening.
Slow down, baby.
I am the surgeon. It's a floater. Laying it up for Hopkins. Shit! Reggie Gilliam. The fake. Allen moves to the back of the end zone. He'll take it himself. God damn it! Gain of 19.
Oh, fucking do it again.
I surrender!
Out of the Bills defense, and right on top of it,
and only hits the upright.
double doink.
Spread out.
Oh, great heavens!
Don't do it.
Do it. Throw it.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Oh shit!
I dropped my hot pocket.
And the Bills are down there.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Boost my bottom.
No.
Look at him choke.
Tactical nuke.
For the love of God, please.
Let's go! Oh man, that was the game in its entirety, essentially. Dallas Cowboy Chris, what was your impressions of the Bills-Ravens game?
I had to be completely honest with you. I watched all the way until the fourth quarter when the Ravens was up 14. I was like, this game is over. Let me go to bed. Gotta go to work.
That was most of America, right?
When I woke up the next day and saw the Bills come back, and I was like, I did it again. I swear, every time I turn it off and say it's over, something like this happens. So I'm sorry, Ravens fans. It was my fault. I went to bed early. I apologize. But the Bills, hey, the Bills-Ravens is always going to be a good game, man. Two fantastic quarterbacks. Original. I am a Allen fan. I love the kid. I really do. Just because when they drafted him, everybody said all he had was a rocket arm. He has nothing else. Well, he got a lot else. So I've always been a fan of his. But you know, it's going to be a classic because to me, honestly, I think one of these two teams will be the AFC participant in the Super Bowl. I really believe these two teams.
Yep.
Okay. So, you know, my thing is I'm Josh Allen. He's a good quarterback, but he can't win the big one. And so, unfortunately, there's another quarterback in this game that has the same issue. Is they light it up during the season. They put these big numbers up, and then they can't finish the deal. So, I don't think either one of them gets to the Super Bowl. I think it's going to come from the AFC West again, which I don't think it's going to be the Chiefs this time, or quite possibly another team that I'll talk about in a little bit. But my biggest problem with both these quarterbacks is they, you know, as much as people want to pick on Dak, you know, obviously Josh Allen has gotten further, but he still can't get to the big one. Still can't win it. So,
oh my God. One, you just said he's a good quarterback, which is put some respect on the man's name. He was the MVP last year. And last year you said I'm going to dub the tape and play it for you that he was a top 5 quarterback in the league. You finally admitted it. So just say he's a great quarterback. The other part of this is you totally vagued over trying to make this prediction that it was going to be out of the AFC West. Who you picking? because none of those quarterbacks have gotten past Patrick Mahomes either, because both these two guys, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, have ran into Mahomes. If Mahomes ain't going to be there, then it's going to be one of these two teams, because the other ones in the AFC West ain't beaten Mahomes yet either. So that the question is, who do you have faith in? Because they haven't got it done either, and they haven't gone as far as these two teams.
Well, we have a whole new regime in Las Vegas. And I've already said that I feel like Las Vegas with Geno Smith, Carroll as the coach, they've got Mr. John, how do you say his name? The running back.
Genty.
Best run, could possibly be one of the best in the league. We'll see. But I still think that Geno Smith with Pete Carroll on his shoulder has shown that he can do some things.
Yeah, because they won so much in Seattle.
Pete Carroll kind of won a few things in Seattle.
Yeah, but not with Geno Smith. That was with Russell Wilson. Chris, tell me I'm not going crazy, am I? This is what I got to work with.
Well, Pete Carroll had Russell Wilson. Geno Smith was under the present coach at Seattle. Geno Smith was only in Seattle 2 years.
And
I would argue those were the best 2 years he's ever had as a football player.
He just can't. I should have worn my Stop Sipping Haterade shirt tonight, because that's all.
But you gotta remember, Pete Carroll has been out of the league for the last 5-6 years. So yeah, so Geno was with the Jets, and then he went a couple more places, then ended up in Seattle. So yeah, he missed Pete Carroll.
Yeah, the old man likes to make these crazy claims and never checks his own facts.
Well, I got a guy on my show just like that.
But I'm telling you, it's either going to be the Chargers or it's going to be the Raiders.
Okay, but the Chargers have even.
Can I ask the question? Why are you so high on the Raiders this season? What makes you? Because they got a new head coach,
and because Geno has shown that with the right coach on his shoulder, he can play with the best of them. I mean, you take a look at the AFC, or not the NFC West, when he played in a division when Frisco was good, when the Rams were good. Cardinals have never been good, so they don't count. They've been somewhat good in some parts. But I'm going to say it's because of I think they're going to have a great running game. I think they're going to have a good passing game, and I think their defense is solid. And to me, coaching more than any other sport in football, coaching matters. And it matters when you have – I mean, you could take – let's go back to when Joe Gibbs was out of the league for years and came back in. And he instantly got Washington to being relevant again when they brought him back. Even though they didn't have a stacked team. So I think it's either going to be the Raiders or the Chargers coming out of the West that's going to represent the AFC. Now, the Bengals may have something to say about that. But
this is my problem with your theory. The Raiders aren't better than KC. The Raiders aren't better than the Chargers, and the Raiders are definitely not better than Denver. So all of a sudden they're going to jump that big three and win that division.
Well, here's my thing about Denver is I always, and I know Casey will argue with me, is the sophomore slump for the quarterback.
Okay.
I think Bo Nix is great. I love the kid. I think he's fun to watch, but I think he's going to have a sophomore slump. They're still going to be good. I still think that division's going to be tight. I don't think none of those teams are going to run away with it, but I think the one who does win the AFC West will be representing, unless the Bengals figure this thing out quickly. But like I said, I wasn't very impressed with the Bengals and the Browns playing the Browns. So,
well, it's a
but
good
I
thing
just think,
it's a good thing the Cowboys play all 4 teams, huh? We're gonna find out real soon.
yeah,
We're gonna find out, aren't we?
All right, so
yeah, we are.
Geno Smith got to Seattle in 2020. Pete Carroll left Seattle in 2023, so there is some lap on there. So Pete Carroll was only out of the league for 1 year when he left Seattle. So Geno has played his best football under Pete Carroll. I will give credit to that and that statement. But they never went and did anything in the playoffs. He and comparatively where he went and what he did, ultimately.
So my argument with that is they never really had a running game in Seattle.
I mean, they went 12-4, 7-10, 9-8, 9-8. Is what they did, and you're right. I obviously Marshawn Lynch was gone by then and past his prime, and maybe Genty is the answer to that. Sean, thank you for the montage clip. Appreciate that comment. I work hard out here, and but I just I don't see it in the Raiders jumping those. I think the Broncos are a better team. I think I do have belief in the Chargers. I think they win the AFC West if the Chiefs falter. And so I think you're spot on with that. But I think ultimately back to this Bills Raven. I have the Bills winning the Super Bowl this year. That's who I see representing the AFC. So I agree with you, Dallas Cowboys, Chris. One of those two guys or one of those two teams. Because if you look at that game, I mean, Derrick Henry is still a freight train. Lamar Jackson is extremely hard to stop when he's running the ball still. He still has elite athleticism. Zay Flowers is a problem. DeAndre Hopkins making that phenomenal catch. They have a really good team. And it's not the dominant defense that you think with the Ravens. They have good players on defense. Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith are phenomenal all-pro players, but it's not a shutdown 2000. When you think of Ravens, you think of Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, and those boys. So I think it's going to be one of those two teams. I really do. I just think the Bills have something to them, and Josh Allen, I think they're going to have to, if it plays out like it's possibly will, the road to the Super Bowl goes through Buffalo, and I don't like Baltimore and Buffalo ever. So that's just my viewpoint. We'll stamp it there. Before we go next next sponsor break, Dallas Cowboy Chris, you have anything you want to put out there before you go enjoy the rest of your night?
Well, man, it was great being on, man. I was so excited when I got the text. I was like, yeah, hey man, I get to go on Casey's show. Appreciate you, man, for showing the love in return. I also ever since I've been on the show now, I want to go to England and visit your cuz. He seems like a good guy. I want to catch a football match with him, and on the old pitch, and hopefully one day that can happen. But other than that, man, guys, man, just appreciate y'all letting me come on and everything. Especially way out here in Seattle, Washington, by the way of Fort Worth, Texas. So I do appreciate it, man, and I've had a lot of fun, man. And also, go ahead.
Tell the folks a little bit about the Cowboy Up podcast and kind of what y'all are about.
Sure, man. The Cowboy Up podcast is on Tuesday nights at 8:00 Central Standard Time. 7:00 Mountain, 6:00 out here on the West Coast. Man, basically our format on the Cowboy podcast is more of a barbershop talk. We can get into X and O's, but it's more of a conversation with 4 to 5 guys and basically having 4 to 5 different opinions about the Cowboys or other teams. Sometimes they can get a little heated, and sometimes we can have a guest or two on there. You know, when Casey was on there, Mikey, one of our co-hosts, basically said it was good to have a white guy on on the panel, and I was just like, look,
pretty fly for a white guy.
yeah, but you know, we rib each other. We have a good time, but one thing about it, we love football and we love the Cowboys. So if you guys who are watching, if you get a chance to check us out, check out the Cowboy Up podcast. We're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We try to stream everywhere we can.
Well, it was a pleasure having you, pleasure meeting you. Casey talks a lot about you, so glad to finally meet you and have you join us.
Oh man, it's been awesome. So, you know, if you want to follow me anywhere, you can find me on TikTok, Dallas Cowboy Chris. You can also find us on Instagram as the Cowboy Up podcast, and on Facebook is just Christopher Lee.
Did I see this right the other day that Des Bryant gave y'all a shout out?
Yes. What happened was I got a buddy who was a super fan for the Eagles. We met a couple years ago at the draft in Las Vegas. So every time he runs into any kind of ex-cowboy, whatever, he will always get them to shout out our podcast for us.
Okay.
So Dez was, of course, in Philly, and he ran into him and he said, man, can you give my buddies a shout out on the Cowboy Up podcast? And he did. So it was quite cool. And then 2 years before that, he had got DeMarcus Ware to give us a shout out. So that was cool. I had a couple more guys that did it, but you know, the quality of the video wasn't actually good to, you know, broadcast. But yeah, we got a couple players and shouted us out. So
yeah, I saw that and I was like, I didn't know that I got a famous podcaster's number in my phone.
I don't know how famous I am, but I am old. I am that.
Well,
I know the feeling, my friend. I know the feeling.
Well, we can't thank you enough for taking the time and joining us. And anytime y'all need a token white guy on the show, I'll be more than happy to hop over there. Just shoot me a text and I'll make the time.
Hey man, appreciate it. And it's good to meet the original. You know, it's good to meet the original.
I appreciate that.
All right.
I tried, man. I tried to raise him. I tried.
Yeah, and we all know how I turned out. Much better and better looking. So on that note, let's go ahead and hear from our sponsor and Dallas Cowboy Chris. Thank you so much for once again. Go subscribe, like, follow, comment to the Cowboy Up podcast on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. Thank you again, my brother.
No problem. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
You too.
Attention leaders planning your 2025 leadership retreat. Are you about to throw $30,000 to $40,000 out the door on flashy speakers and trendy activities that lose impact in 2 months? Don't waste your budget on short-lived inspiration. Partner with Easy Leadership and harness the disc work of leaders to gain real data insights into your company's real-world issues. We'll uncover your team's strengths and tackle critical challenges in vision, alignment, and execution, creating a strategic action plan that drives lasting, measurable results. Act now. Contact Easy Leadership at easyleadership.com to invest in leadership that transforms your organization for the long haul.
All right. easyleadership.com. Check it out, please.
All righty. Thank you again to Dallas Cowboys, Chris. That was good stuff. He did great with Sir George as well. I didn't know how he was going to do with that. I kind of dropped that on him last second. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, let's get into some college football here. We're going to do it a little abbreviated. We do want to get you our loyal fan base out on time. But hey, yeah, big fella, Cowboy Chris is awesome, 100%. So are you. I remember you. BOTG_Eric. He was commenting all over their podcast, man. That was good times. I remember that name explicitly. So feel free to keep throwing them in our comment section. But college football, it was kind of a weak weekend, if I remember right. And I think there was only one top 25 matchup, if I do believe. That was the Oklahoma game, which I believe Oklahoma took care of business on that one. What would anything stand out from the weekend is pretty low key. I know you're probably going to talk about Arch, and let's just go ahead and start there. In your eyes, did Arch Manning respond or kind of regain any of his hype luster he had?
Well, he's got to play a real team and do this. Obviously, this was not. So for me, it's still a wait and see. Obviously they took care of business, which they should have. But I'm more excited about our team in Texas, the Aggies. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the Aggies, just in their play, their quarterback play. But going back to Texas, we got to see what he does, and like he's saying on the comment here, is that it was a garbage team. So I agree. I'm going to have to see something against the team. It's just like this week. I know maybe you're getting to this, but A&M is playing Notre Dame. That's a game that hurt them last year, and they didn't. To me, they kind of didn't recover from that to a certain extent. Even though they were pretty good, I think A&M's got to go in there and win that game. And if they do, it's going to move them quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think Notre Dame's got to, I think they'll have to have a pretty good schedule down the line to make that, if the Aggies win that, to make it look good. But let's get back. I want to get back to the Longhorns before we talk about our Aggies. Arch, both of you are correct. Eric, old man, he did what he's supposed to against San Jose State, and it's going to be garbage teams for a while. They got UTEP this weekend. They got Sam Houston State, and then at Florida. Florida's you never know what Florida team you're going to get right now. It's probably going to be the Oklahoma game that you're going to see what Arch is really made out of in the Cotton Bowl. That's going to be the big test, I think, for Arch Manning to see if he has grown it. And by that time, he'll have 5 games under his belt. He should be comfortable in that realm. So, yeah, that's going to be the interesting part of it.
That is really a weak schedule to start for them.
Well, there's a lot of teams like you look at I know you love Penn State. Penn State's schedule is really weak if you look at it. Penn State's got they had Nevada, Florida International. This week they got Villanova, and then they finally have Oregon the week after next. So, and then UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa, and then they see Ohio State. But so Penn State, you're not going to really find out what they're made out of until they meet up with Oregon. But to the Aggies, Aggies 2-0, they move up to 16th in the country in the AP poll, and they're 17th in the coaches poll. I think that's about where they need to be, or where they should be based off of last year's performance. But Klecko, he's got them rolling. I like what I've seen out of A&M. There's athletes. I like Reed at quarterback. So I think they're a sneaky dark horse in the SEC. I really do, and I think they could do some things, especially if they beat Notre Dame. I think that'll give them the confidence to project them forward to maybe make the college football playoff.
Well, bringing in Concepcion, and I say bringing him in, he obviously went to the transfer portal. He has turned out to be a serious weapon for the Aggies, not just running back kicks, but at receiver. And obviously, Reed has been playing well at quarterback, and now that to me, the game has slowed down for him. And what I'm seeing out of him at quarterback is somebody who now doesn't look like he gets rattled like he has in the past. He looks like he's in charge. He knows what's going on. But it's all going to come down to me, this game is going to determine if they can take that next step.
Well, the week after, they got a pretty tough test with Auburn as well. You know, Auburn is on the come up. They're starting to turn their program around. They're number 24 in the country. Then you got Mississippi State. Then you got, we mentioned, I already talked to how Florida looks, but you do have Florida at home, regardless. Then you're at Arkansas. We know Arkansas is always a tough place to go and play. If you can get through that.
Arkansas, or is it at Texas Stadium again?
I thought they did away with that. I think it's at Arkansas. I think last year was the
I don't
last
know
year
if they did or not, but yeah.
I think last year was the last year they had the neutral site. And then it's at LSU. And that's going to tell you if they can get through the Auburn and Florida and Arkansas, that at LSU in Death Valley, in Baton Rouge, that's going to be the true test. And if they can get through that, I think they can win out. I mean, they will have Texas. I mean, that end of their schedule is pretty rough. LSU, Missouri, who's 25 right now, South Carolina, and Texas to end the year at Texas this year. So if they can get out of there, if they can end the season with 2 losses, I think they're in the playoff. So we'll see what happens with the Aggies. But yeah, nothing too exciting last weekend. Nothing stood out. I thought Oklahoma looked pretty good against who'd they end up playing? It's escaping me. Michigan. You know, and Michigan's 1-1 now, so they did a pretty good job against Michigan. I think Arch everyone.
Yeah, I would agree with what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think Penn State right now is wait and see before I give kudos there. But Klubnik at Clemson, Nussmeier at LSU, they look pretty solid as well. Those are good points, my man. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Heisman race starts shaping up. Or should I just call it the quarterback award, because that's all it is nowadays. But you know, I would really love to see an offensive lineman win the Heisman, because there's an offense.
That'll never happen.
The closest was Orlando Pace from Ohio State in the late 90s. So I would love to see that. Or if it was a defensive lineman, you'd have to have like 30 sacks or something like that. Something ridiculous.
So you were talking about dark horse really quickly before we move on. Iowa State is once again showing something. They're 3-0. Now, granted, they haven't played a lot of teams, but Iowa State is one that always, they showed last year. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on, because they're 3-0 right now. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah, and I think a sneaky one out of the Big 12 is BYU. I like BYU. We'll see what they do. They're 25 in the coaches poll right now. They're not ranked in the AP poll. And South Florida.
Yeah.
South Florida has been whooping some tails. South Florida, they have they have Miami this weekend. That's going to tell us a lot about South Florida. I would expect, but they're at Miami. So, but I think they play Miami plays in the Dolphins and at Hard Rock. But
now I think I did mention it was where the heck is the game? I can't find it. That Baylor was going to give SMU some fits, and I do believe they did. I just can't find the game. But Baylor taking us out SMU. SMU was expected to be fairly good this year. So I cannot find the game.
Yes, it is the most valuable quarterback award. All right. Do we have another commercial or no?
Yeah, I do if you need it.
Well, we're talking about going to break, and then we got to get to kind of making the most of our moment, which is we're changing it a little bit today. That'll be brief, and then get to our endings, and we'll just kind of combine those. I just said kind of.
Okay.
Did you hear that? Like I said it twice in a row. That was
kind of.
All right. Well, one last word from our sponsors, easyleadership.com, and then we'll come back and get to the long road home.
Have you heard of the DISC communication tool? Yes, most people in business have. But there is a new tool out there that is tailored for leadership teams. It is called the DISC Work of Leaders and focuses on 3 main areas: vision, alignment, and execution. This amazing assessment is not just a game changer. It is a business strategy necessity if you want to create sustainability. Let's be honest, a lot of executives spend many hours in HR dealing with people issues, and that happens because of reactive leadership. If you are sitting in HR trying to figure out what happened after the fact, then you are not able to concentrate on running your department or business, and it steals your time. Email us or call. It's free to talk about it and learn how to become proactive in your leadership. Big or small, we have a plan to build on your strengths and an action plan for your challenges. Join Eddie Schedule, our CEO and founder, for a quick video on what a report does for you. Head over to our website and scroll down to see this amazing video of the DISC Work of Leaders tool. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Once again, easyleadership.com. Check it out.
All right. Before we get to the negative, we did have a segment before that we should have done. Picks with Pops. Got to do our Picks with Pops. So let's throw this up on the stage. Picks with Pops. The remix went 6-1 last week. Yes, sir, I did. And you went.
Are you sure you didn't cheat somehow?
No, I didn't cheat. Do you want me to go over the games? I'll go. Don't worry.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay. I just want to make sure. So for the folks at home watching, we do every NFC East game. We do the Texans game because we are here in Houston as well. And then we also pick 3. Well, we always do 7 games. That's what we do out of the NFL football weekend. Might start throwing some college in there eventually, but right now we're sticking with the pros. So I went 6-1. He went 4-3. So both on the positive route. Let's get to the picks. Let's go through them real quick. Packers, Commanders, who you got?
I'm going Packers.
All right. Yeah, I think Micah gets ramped up a little bit, but this is a short week. I think this is tomorrow night, matter of fact. Thursday night game.
Yes.
I like the Packers as well. I'm going the Packers. I think they're a really, really complete team. And, I think this is one that's going to be a dogfight, a slobber knocker, as Jim Ross would say from WWE. Eric disagrees with us. He's going Commanders. But it's okay. We all can't be right. All right. Cowboys, Giants. I got the Cowboys. You got the Cowboys. The world got the Cowboys. No need to get any opinions on that because we all expect a 100% ass whooping on there. Our man Eric, he going, what? I want to see the Commanders run the ball at Micah. I'm petty like that. That's funny stuff right there. I don't disagree. When we talked about the trade originally, obviously Micah is absolutely elite pass rushing, above average run defender. So not a bad idea there if you're the Commanders. All right. Eagles, Chiefs. I'll let you go first on this one. Who you got?
I really hate to say it, but I think the Eagles, even though this is a Super Bowl rematch and the Chiefs have a lot to play for, I just think the Eagles are too fast for the Chiefs.
Yeah, so it was nauseating. because we both picked the Eagles last week to beat Dallas. Matter of fact, I thought Dallas was going to get our ass whooped. It is nauseating to pick the Eagles. It is. But I'm picking the Eagles because, as Dallas Cowboy Chris pointed out, the Chiefs look slow. They look sluggish. The Xavier Worthy's out. Travis Kelce's probably going to run into another defender or another wide receiver this week. Who knows? Eric disagrees with us. He thinks the Chiefs bounce back. I love Mahomes, but I think the Eagles team is so much better. Let's go. We pick the Texans every week. I have a feeling I know where you're going with this one. I will pick first this time, though. It's Bucks, Texans. I'm taking Tampa Bay because Texans just looked horrible last week. Are you going Tampa Bay as well?
Yes, I'm going with Tampa Bay because you know that I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. I just think he's got something going for him.
You love Baker Mayfield like I love Josh Allen.
No, not quite that much.
No, you do. You're in a Baker Mayfield orgy. All right.
No, that is just totally uncalled for and unprofessional.
Oh, man, that's getting put on the montage. All right. So now we're into our wild card games here. I have Broncos Colts. Did you pick that one?
No.
Okay. I'm going Colts for the upset. I think Daniel Jones rolls. I'm going Broncos Colts. What's your first wild card game?
That is going to be the Bears and Detroit Lions. I'm going to take the Bears because I think that they are just looking a lot better. Even though both these teams are 0-1, I think Detroit has got some issues. So I'm going to go with the Bears as they face their old offensive coordinator as head coach.
Yeah, I actually have that game next on my list. I'm taking the Bears as well. It seems like you just want to pick my picks because of the ass whooping I gave you in the standings.
I have not seen your picks.
All right. So that was my next wild card. What's your next wild card game?
Hang on.
Oh my God! I'll just go to my next one and we'll do your two in a row. I'm going Panthers Cardinals is where I'm going for my last wild card game. Panthers Cardinals. These are two really bad teams. But I'm going Cardinals. I'm going to pick the Cardinals.
All right. Well, you know where I'm going. I'm back on the bandwagon. Oh, you can't see my horns with the background.
Oh,
can't see my horns. I'm going Vikings.
Vikings. Who are they playing?
The Falcons. Atlanta.
All right. You're going Vikings. And what's your last game?
Last game is going to be Chargers and Raiders. Both 1-0, undefeated. They're playing in Vegas. This is a tough one for me.
Yeah, because you think the Raiders are God's gift to football all of a sudden.
I didn't say they're God's gift to football. I just say they're going to win the AFC West. But I also think the Chargers are just as good. And from what I saw out of the Chargers, I'm actually going to pick the Chargers to win this game, even though it's in Vegas. So there you have it.
You picked the. I'm sorry, I was reading something. You picked who?
Chargers over the Raiders.
I don't know how
Vegas.
I don't know how the Raiders are going to win. By the way, what I was reading was our Eric just commenting. Don't underestimate the power of Taylor Swift. Love Baker Mayfield, so he's with you on that. I have seen his undercover episode. That was hilarious. And Broncos, Daniel remembers he's not Peyton Manning and stinks it up. Yeah, maybe. And then Eric is in line with all your picks. Chargers always visiting the team, even in LA.
I know. It's the San Diego Superchargers.
Yeah. Yeah. So All right. We're going to change gears here, and I'm not done with that graphic with Picks with Pops. That was just something I did real quick while we were on air. Is obviously today we normally do a segment called Making the Most of Your Moment, but we want to make the most of our moment. And we are a sports show. We don't like getting political on a sports show. We both have, everyone has their own belief system, but an absolute tragedy happened today, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I want to say prayers and thoughts to his wife, his kids, his family, his friends, and it's just a sad thing to see. And we normally like to stick to sports on the show since we are a sports podcast, but the world and life doesn't stop for a podcast or sports. And I think we'd be remiss to not have addressed what happened today. It very, very sad to see, and hopefully it's not ultimately very extremely divisive. Even though I've seen a ton of stuff online already, and that's honestly, I went outside to just throw my dog's toy with him just to get away from it all today, because this one kind of rocked me. I ain't been rocked from a celebrity death like that since Kobe. So I know you have a few things to say, and then we'll move forward.
Yeah, it's unfortunately over just the last few days, we've seen horrific, and this is the bad thing about social media. As much as we're on it, obviously on a podcast and all that stuff, is that now, you used to have to stay up late to see the news and see these type of things, and you never really saw the images you see now. But I was already haunted by that poor young girl that was killed on the train, and what haunted me right now was that nobody got up to help her. Obviously, nobody knew what that guy was going to do, but even after he did it, nobody got up to help her. And then, of course, the tragedy today is that we should be able to talk about our differences. That's what made America great, and not be hurt, and in this case, murdered over it. And the horrific thing is it happens live right in front of us now. And if you don't see it live, it's all over social media. And unfortunately, we got to get back to loving each other and caring about each other, even if we disagree with what we, may believe. And, I just thoughts and prayers, and come on, we can do better as America. We settle our differences by talking things out, hugging it out, and loving each other, because that's what makes the dream. America is a dream to me. That's what it is. That's what it's always been. And we've got to figure out how to come back together on these things. Now, we talk about sports, and sports is a great escape from all this junk. Sometimes, and then you have things like Spitgate and all that junk, but back to just, if you or someone out there is feeling that you've got to do something, then look to do something positive, do something good for someone else in the name of your cause. That gets you more notoriety than trying to be famous because you did something that included violence. It's not who we are, and we got to get back to being who we are. So thoughts and prayers, Charlie Kirk. He was a great Christian man. Above all, is whether you disagree with his politics, on his Christian side, he showed his faith constantly. But he has 2 young kids now that have to grow up without a father. So please, say your prayers, and God be with that family. Unfortunately, it was just right on our TV and social media to see today, and it was just terrible. And it shook me, just like Casey said. It shook me. It shook me with the young girl just the other day too. So,
Yeah,
that's
you
it.
mentioned an important thing there, and I'll kind of wrap this up, and then we'll get to our last couple things. Is something I always taught my students when I was teaching. For those that don't know, I was a teacher and a coach for 16 years, a teacher for 11, and I've taught every nationality, every group, ethnic group you could think of. And something I always talked about was being able to come together and listen to each other with the intent to understand, and not, any conversation you have with anyone, it isn't to try to change anyone 180 degrees to your side. It's just to get someone who has opposite views of you to look at it maybe 1 or 2 degrees the other way. And that way you come to an understanding. It doesn't mean you have to change. And I think in today's world, we are very quick to emotion and thinking the worst is going to happen. And people go to extremes. And so very sad to see. And something I know you've always said, I heard many times growing up, you don't judge anyone by their ethnicity or the color of their skin. You judge them by the content of their character, which I think you got from Martin Luther King Jr. But at the end of the day, we should be able to have those conversations and come together and see each other's differences. I mean, that's someone I consider my big brother, Damian Goodman. I mean, we're from way two different worlds. He's black, I'm white. He's from Hillside, Dayton, Ohio. Once was the murder capital of the United States when he was growing up. And I'm from Texas, and we're brothers. He's the best man at my wedding. And we've had some long, hard conversations that I think would have probably broke other people, but we have a purpose of understanding each other. So we both said it. Thoughts, prayers to Charlie Kirk and his family, to the girl in North Carolina who lost her life on the train, on the bus, sorry. And so we're not exempt from the world outside of sports. We just wanted to talk about that a little bit, not delve into left, right, Republican, Democrat, none of that. It was just a tragedy to see, and you're right. What shook me, I just happened to log on Twitter. I didn't know what was going on. I just got back from cleaning my RV, and the first thing that popped on my feed was a video of him getting assassinated, and I was just like, oh my God. At first I thought it wasn't real, and I haven't been shook since like this since Kobe. So sad to see and tragic, and hopefully we can learn from this, grow from this as a country, as a society, and understand things are starting to get extreme and getting a little too far, and we got to find the middle ground. All right, let's go ahead and go to our last segment of the night. Got any randoms before I get to the whiskey of the week? Any randoms out there you want to chat? I got Angel Reese dogging her teammates there in Chicago, and Sophie Cunningham basically dogging Angel Reese for dogging her teammates. I don't know if you came across that or not. I know you're a Sophie Cunningham lover. So, but not much around. The Rangers have come back. I'll let you comment on that before I talk about the Rangers. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, and I don't think Sophie would say I'm her lover. I do like her, but yeah, no, I would agree. I said I just want a kiss on the top of my head from her, but because that's how it'll be, because she's so much taller than me. But yeah, no, Sophie. One of the reasons I like her is she's not afraid to speak the truth, and that's what she talked about. Is there certain things that you have to protect your teammates from, and you have to know when to talk and when not to talk. And she says you have to protect your locker room. And how many times do we hear that in football? That needs to stay in the locker room. And what Angel Reese, it just continues to show she is all about herself. And this is why she's, in my opinion, because I watched the WNBA, which I did not before. Congrats to the Indiana Fever. They averaged over 100,000 fans this year, over 100,000 fans more than the other WNBA teams, even though all their star players, except for Lexi, have been hurt all year. But I think everybody gets behind them because they battle it out. And of course, they have Caitlin Clark, but she's been out pretty much half the whole season. But yeah, I just think Angel Reese is going to have to really figure out how to look in the mirror and take some responsibility for herself and what she does, or she's not going to last a lot longer. I know they put her on the cover of, the new video game, which to me is a little bit ridiculous, because she is not. To me, her game is not something you think of when you think of the WNBA. So,
right. Yeah.
Angel
Reese, shut up. Just shut up. Just stop talking. What you said out there, if I was your teammate, if you were in boot camp, you would have got a Ricky shower is what you would have got from your shipmates in boot camp. If you would have,
or as you know from A Few Good Men, it would have been a code red.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, just be quiet. You won 10 games, and you're supposed to be like this next coming. Like Jamel Hill said, you're going to have a better career than Michael Jordan. Shut up, and Jamil Hill, shut up too. Can't stand her too. But yeah, I'm gonna go something positive because I'm just gonna say something I'm probably no one's gonna like. The Texas Rangers 2.5 back of Houston. Who would have thunk it? B Boach will be on next week to give us our status update, see how it's going. But that's without Marcus Semien, without Corey Seager, without Evan Carter, everyone out, without Evaldi, and they're still winning. They just swept the number 1 team in the league. And holy crap, I don't even know how they're doing it. It's been impressive. So shout out to my Rangers getting it done. And I'm going to be honest, I counted them out. I think most people count them out when your big dogs go down. Oh, and Noah Dulles Garcia. Garcia's out too. So don't forget about that. But before we get out of here, our whiskey of the week is Bushmills. All right. Bushmills Irish whiskey, smooth and mellow. All right. If I could find good old, I was looking for 40% alcohol. There it is. It was right there at the bottom. Bushmills classic Irish whiskey. So good stuff. Good for just sipping on a little bit. And that's about all I got for the week. Obviously we ran a little over with our guests. That normally happens. We normally go a little long on some segments. Thank you again to Dallas Cowboys Chris for coming on from the Cowboy Up podcast. Any of those boys from the Cowboy Up podcast are always more than welcome to come on here on Time Sports Talk. We'd love to have you all on. All right. Anything else?
No, what an incredible 90 minutes sports talk. We want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight on Time Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, that's the way to read the script.
I know, right? That was really good.
You made it completely obvious. Holy crap. You're sitting over here like,
It's almost like you're pointing at the words.
Well, I didn't finish it out. We'll catch you next time for more high energy sports analysis.
Is that what we are? High energy?
Maybe high chaos, but yeah.
But it was a good time. So we appreciate everyone out there for watching, listening. Give us a like. As the old man said, like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate the comment. We had a lot of comments tonight. We're very appreciative of that. Love the interaction. And yeah, at the end of the day, we'll be back next week. Believe we'll have to check in with Jay. I got in between Jerry and Jerry. That was terrible. Jerry Jones will be on the show. See if he fixed his hairpiece or not. But after week 2 of the Cowboys, what he thinks of the fallout of the Micah trade, as well as how the team is looking. And yeah, might even hear from, well, I already said B. Boach is going to. So a lot of guests next week. Hopefully B. Boach gets a little more advice from his PR guy, because last time he was on the show, got a little risque. You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
All right. Well, we thank y'all again. We love y'all. Peace. We're out of here.
Good night.